You eat rice, you eat noodles, you snack, and somehow, you're still lean. That's not a fantasy. That's just Tuesday in Japan. Before you say genetics, stop. That argument collapses when Japanese Americans who adopt a Western lifestyle develop the same obesity rates as everyone else around them. The body didn't change. The environment did. The habits did. You've probably tried to eat better at some point. Maybe you counted calories. Maybe you cut carbs. Maybe you had a solid week and fell apart on a Friday night. And you told yourself the story most people tell. That you just don't have enough willpower. That other people have better self-control. But what if that story is wrong? What if willpower has almost nothing to do with it? What if the real reason you keep falling back isn't weakness, but design? What if the problem isn't you, but the system you're living inside? That's what this video answers. And by the end, you're going to see your own daily habits in a completely different way. Japan has an obesity rate of roughly 4.5%. The United States sits at around 36%. That gap isn't explained by genetics or extreme discipline, because here's what Japanese people actually eat: rice, ramen, sushi, tempura, convenience store onigiri, packaged snacks. They're not surviving on salads. They're not doing 2-hour gym sessions before dawn. Most of them don't have gym memberships at all. So what is actually going on? Most diets fail not because people are weak, but because diets work against your own biology. When you restrict calories dramatically, your body fights back. It slows your metabolism. It floods you with hunger hormones. It makes food feel more rewarding than before. Your brain starts treating that bowl of pasta like it's oxygen. And when you eventually eat something off plan, and you will because you're human, the guilt spiral starts. Most people end up heavier than where they began. This is not a personal failure. This is biology doing exactly what it was designed to do: protect you from starvation. The question is, how do you work with your biology instead of against it? How do you create a life where staying lean isn't a constant battle, but just the default? Japan has been running that experiment for decades. The answer isn't a diet, it's 9 specific habits. And most of them have nothing to do with what you eat. They have everything to do with how you live. The first is movement built into daily life, not scheduled into it. Japanese cities are structured around walking, train stations, walkable neighborhoods, bikes for short errands. Movement isn't a workout. It's just how you get places. Compare that to a life where you drive everywhere, sit all day, and try to compensate with 45 minutes at a gym 3 times a week. Your body isn't built for intense bursts surrounded by 12 hours of stillness. It's built for consistent, low-level movement throughout the day. You don't need a gym. You need to stop designing your day around avoiding physical effort. The second habit is eating slowly. Your brain takes roughly 20 minutes to register that your stomach is full. If you eat fast, and most people in Western food culture do, you've already consumed far more than your body needs before the signal arrives. Japanese food culture is built around pace, smaller bites, more chewing. The food is meant to be tasted, not processed. If you eat fast, you will consistently overeat. Not because you're greedy, because you're eating faster than your own nervous system can keep up with. The third habit is dramatically less sugar. The average Japanese person consumes significantly less added sugar than the average American. Not through heroic self-denial, but because Japanese food culture never built the same relationship with sweetness. Meals aren't built around dessert. Drinks don't default to sugary sodas. Sugar disrupts hunger signals, drives cravings, and creates energy spikes and crashes that make you want to eat again before your body needs food. Reducing it meaningfully, not obsessively, changes how your appetite actually feels. You stop eating because you're bored. You start eating because you're hungry. And right here, if this is starting to click, if you're seeing your own habits in a different light, this is exactly what this channel is built for. Not guilt trips, not impossible standards, just real systems explained honestly. If you want more of this, subscribing takes 2 seconds. The fourth habit is eating on a schedule, not with a tracking app, just the same basic rhythm, day after day. Your body has a biological clock that regulates hormones, digestion, and hunger. When you eat at random times, that clock gets disrupted, and hunger signals become unreliable. You eat when you're not hungry because something looked good. You skip meals and overeat later. The schedule isn't a diet. It's letting your body's own systems work the way they were designed to. The fifth habit is eating to 80% fullness, what the Japanese call Hara hachi bu. Stop before you're full. Eat until you're satisfied, not stuffed. Small plates help. Your brain is more influenced by visual cues than most people realize. A small plate that looks full registers differently than a large plate with the same amount of food. This habit alone, practiced consistently over years, creates a caloric difference that compounds without tracking, without restriction, without any special effort. The sixth habit starts in childhood. Japanese food education is woven into school culture. Children learn to eat vegetables, fish, rice, and fermented foods as normal default meals. The palate you develop early shapes what feels satisfying to you as an adult. This isn't about blaming your upbringing. It's about recognizing that taste preferences are learned, which means they can be slowly relearned. If processed food tastes like comfort, and real food feels like punishment right now, that's not permanent. That's a preference built by repetition. And repetition can rebuild it. The seventh habit is presence during meals. Japanese meals are rarely eaten while scrolling a phone or watching a show. The meal is the activity. Distracted eating is one of the most reliable ways to overeat without realizing it. When your attention is split, your brain doesn't fully register the experience. So it doesn't register the satisfaction either. You finish the plate and reach for more because, neurologically, you barely experienced eating it. Eat the meal. Just the meal. Even for 10 minutes, you'll eat less and feel more satisfied. The eighth habit is environmental. In Japan, healthy food is accessible and affordable. Convenience stores stock fresh meals, fish, rice, vegetables. The healthy option is also the easy option. Compare that to an environment where the cheapest, most available food is ultra-processed and engineered to push you past fullness. Willpower is a resource that runs out. The people who seem disciplined around food usually aren't fighting harder. They've built an environment where the right choice is also the easiest choice. Your pantry matters more than your willpower. What you buy at the store matters more than what you resist at home. Design your environment, and behavior follows. Now, you might be thinking, Japan's infrastructure is different. My city isn't walkable. I don't have cheap, fresh food on every corner. Some of that is true. You can't immediately change where you live or how your city is built. But most of these 9 habits require nothing but a decision to be more intentional. Eating slower requires no money, no equipment, no meal plan. Stopping at 80% full requires no diet. Putting your phone down during meals costs nothing. Walking somewhere instead of driving is available to most people, most days. Eating at consistent times is a schedule, not a sacrifice. You don't have to redesign a country. You have to redesign your defaults, one at a time. The Japanese model isn't about restriction. It's about integration. When healthy behavior is the normal, lowest friction behavior in your daily life, you don't need to fight for it. You don't need a motivational speech or a new start on Monday. You just live. And the results accumulate quietly over months and years into a body and a relationship with food that feels completely different from where you are now. You're not broken because diets haven't worked. Diets were never designed to work long-term. They were designed to feel like progress while disrupting the biological systems that were supposed to help you. The alternative isn't harder. It just asks you to stop treating health like a sprint and start treating it like a background system, something you build slowly into the texture of everyday life until it no longer requires effort. Start with one habit, not all 9. 1. The smallest one you can actually sustain. Eat slower this week. Put your phone down at 1 meal a day. Take the longer route on foot. Buy less sugar at the store so you're not fighting it at home. The system doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be real. What's one habit from this video that you're actually going to try this week? Write it in the comments. Not for me, but because naming it makes it more real for you. The quiet life isn't the boring life, it's the sustainable one.